Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're diving deep, really deep, into a book that, well, it sparked a lot of debate and changed how millions think about money. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Absolutely. It's one of those books that really sticks with you.
It does. And our mission today is to unpack those core ideas, maybe some surprising facts too, to help you, our listener, reevaluate your own financial thinking. Maybe even change your path.
Exactly. And what makes Kiyosaki's view so different is his background. He talks about having these two dads, right? His actual father, highly educated, but, struggled financially.
Right. The poor dad.
The poor dad. And then his best friend's father, who dropped out in 8th grade but became wealthy. The rich dad.
That contrast is key.
It's everything. It shaped this really unconventional approach to money that just flies in the face of a lot of common financial advice.
Okay, so let's start there. With that radical view, how did these early experiences begin to shape his foundational ideas?
Well, it really started with some stark differences in philosophy. Kiyosaki's poor dad would often say things like, the love of money is the root of all evil.
A common sentiment, yeah.
Very common. But his rich dad, he flipped it. He said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. And that one phrase sort of sets the tone for the whole book.
Wow.
Yeah. It points to this core idea that money skills are learned at home, mostly. Not really in school. Schools teach us academics, professional skills, super important stuff, but not financial literacy.
Which explains why, you can have doctors or lawyers who are still living paycheck to paycheck sometimes.
Precisely. They might be brilliant professionally, but financially illiterate in Kiyosaki's terms.
It's interesting, too, how much weight he gives to just the words we use. How does that shape our financial reality, according to him?
Oh, hugely. Think about hearing, I can't afford it. Kiyosaki says his poor dad said that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Rich dad saw that phrase as like a mental shutdown. Your brain just stops working.
Okay.
But rich dad insisted on asking, okay, how can I afford it?
Turning it into a question.
Exactly. It forces your brain to engage, to problem solve. It's not about just buying everything. It's about exercising that financial muscle, looking for solutions, shifting from, lack to possibility.
And these weren't just theories, right? He had some pretty unusual practical lessons early on with his friend Mike.
Oh, absolutely. Wild stuff. He talks about their first business at 9 years old, making lead nickels, basically counterfeiting.
Wow, okay. Didn't see that coming.
Right. But what's really telling is the poor dad's reaction. Instead of freaking out, he apparently said something like, look, you're only poor if you give up. You did something. Most people just talk. You acted.
That's actually quite encouraging in a way.
It is. But then contrast that with the rich dad's lesson, making them work for like 10 cents an hour.
10 cents.
Yeah. And then, even more controversially, making them work for free. He called it a taste of life.
A taste of the rat race.
Exactly. That endless cycle. The whole point was to hammer home the idea. Don't work for money, have money work for you. And tied into that was understanding emotions, fear, and greed.
How so?
Well, the fear of not having enough and then the greed for more once you get some, he argued those emotions control most people's financial decisions. They react emotionally instead of thinking logically. Rich Dad apparently said, emotion is energy in motion. You have to understand it to control it.
Okay, so once you grasp that mindset shift, that emotional control, the next big piece really turns things upside down, doesn't it? Redefining assets and liabilities.
This is like the cornerstone.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, he calls it. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets.
Simple enough.
Deceptively simple.
Yeah.
His definition. An asset puts money in my pocket. A liability takes money out of my pocket.
Okay, that's different from my old accounting textbook.
Totally different. And this is where he challenges that big one. Your house is an asset.
Right. That's going to ruffle some feathers. The whole American dream is built on that idea. So how does he justify saying your house isn't an asset?
Well, think about it from a cash flow perspective, which is his main focus. Your primary home. You've got the mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, repairs, utilities. All that takes money out of your pocket month after month.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Plus, all the capital tied up in the house isn't working for you elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's a potential missed opportunity. Now, could a house be an asset by his definition?
Yeah, how?
If it generates positive cash flow. Like if you rent it out and the rent income is more than all those expenses, then is putting money in your pocket.
So it's all about the cash flow, not the label.
Exactly. He wants you, the listener, to look past the traditional definitions and analyze your actual cash flow.
And the book lays this out really clearly with different patterns, right? For the poor, middle class, and rich.
Yeah, the diagrams are quite powerful. For the poor person, income comes in, usually from a job, and it goes straight out to expenses. Rent, food, taxes, transport. No real asset collar. Cash in, cash out.
Okay.
The middle class person, again, income mostly from a job, but now there are more liabilities. Mortgage, car loans, credit cards, maybe student loans.
Right, the bigger house, the nicer car.
Exactly. And those liabilities create expenses, mortgage payments, car payments, etc. The house might be listed as an asset on paper, but it's often contributing to the negative cash flow that keeps them stuck in that rat race.
So what's the warning sign there? If you're middle class, how do you know you're stuck?
If your income basically just covers your expenses and liability payments, leaving little or nothing to actually buy income-generating assets, that's the trap.
Okay, so contrast that with the rich person's pattern.
Right. For the rich person, the assets are the primary source of income. Things like rental properties, stocks that pay dividends, bonds, notes receivable, intellectual property like royalties.
So the assets make the money.
Exactly. That asset-generated income then covers their expenses and liabilities, and crucially, the leftover cash gets reinvested back into buying more assets.
It's a cycle. A positive feedback loop.
A powerful one. Their asset column just keeps growing, generating more and more passive income.
So it really drives home that point. It's not just what you earn, it's what you keep and how you make that money work.
Precisely. You could earn a huge salary, but if you don't understand cash flow and asset building, you can still be financially fragile.
Right.
It's about focusing on the balance sheet and cash flow, not just the income statement.
Okay, so if we get that, what's the practical application for the listener? This leads to his idea of minding your own business, right?
Yes, exactly. And he uses that great story about Ray Kroc, the McDonald's guy.
Oh, yeah.
Kroc apparently asked some MBA students what business he was in. They all said hamburgers, naturally.
Makes sense.
But Kroc said, no, my business is real estate. He knew the real money was in owning the land under those golden arches.
Wow, that's brilliant.
It illustrates the point perfectly. The rich focus on building their asset column. Their business is managing and growing those assets, separate from their profession or job.
So distinguish between your job, what pays the bills initially, and your real business, which is your asset column.
That's the core idea. Your profession might be what you do, but your business is what you own.
And the book touches on something potentially controversial, too, this idea of the Robin Hood fantasy, taxing the rich. He argues it often backfires on the middle class.
He does. It's a surprising perspective for many. He looks at the history of income tax, saying it often started targeting only the wealthy. But eventually, the government's appetite grows, and the burden shifts downwards to the middle and working classes. The rich, meanwhile, learn the rules to legally minimize their tax burden.
And that's where corporations come into play, as a tool for the rich.
Absolutely. He demystifies the corporation. It's not necessarily a big building. It's a legal structure, just paperwork, really.
Like a financial toolkit.
Sort of, yeah. Or a shield. It offers huge tax advantages. The big one is being able to spend money on expenses before taxes are calculated.
Can you give an example?
Well, things that might be personal expenses for an individual. Maybe a car, some travel, health expenses could potentially become legitimate business expenses paid with pre-tax dollars. It's structured correctly through a corporation. Think board meetings in Hawaii.
Okay, I see the appeal.
And beyond taxes, it offers legal protection. It separates your business liabilities from your personal assets. So if the business gets sued, your personal stuff is generally safe. It's that idea of controlling everything, but owning nothing directly.
Okay, so to leverage all this, Kiyosaki talks about needing financial IQ. He breaks it down into 4 areas.
He does. It's not just about being smart. It's about specific knowledge. First is accounting, financial literacy, reading the numbers, understanding statements.
Knowing what the figures actually mean.
Exactly. Second is investing, the science of making money make money. Strategies, vehicles, risk assessment. Third is understanding markets. Supply and demand, yes, but also the psychology. Knowing when fear or greed is driving the market and finding opportunities.
Reading the room, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And fourth is law. Knowing the rules of the game. Tax advantages, corporate structures, regulations, protections.
So you can't just be good at one of these.
No, he stresses it's the synergy. Financial IQ is the combination of all 4 working together That's what gives you control. As he says, if you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power.
That sounds like a mountain to climb, learning all that. But he argues financial genius isn't just for geniuses, right? It's about creating luck, even inventing money.
Yeah, that's a key theme. It's often the bold, not necessarily the academically smartest, who get ahead financially. He believes self-doubt and fear hold most people back.
Kills the genius.
Right. Courage is what turns that fear into action, into brilliance. And in today's world where information is wealth and things change so fast, old ideas can actually hold you back. You need to be adaptable, bold.
And he created a tool to help practice this, right? The cash flow game.
Yes. It's brilliant, actually. It's not just a game, it's a simulator. It teaches you how the income statement and balance sheet work together in real time.
So you practice managing cash flow.
Exactly. You learn how to buy assets, increase passive income, and get out of the rat race. The beauty is, it reflects your real tendencies, but you make mistakes with play money. It's learning by doing, safely.
He gives a great example in the book of inventing money himself. Can you share that?
Oh yeah, it's a classic. He talks about finding a foreclosed house for, say, $20,000.
Okay.
Then, instead of just fixing it up, he quickly sells it for $60,000, but gets creative with the financing. He doesn't take cash up front.
No money down.
Essentially, yeah. He has the buyer give him a promissory note, basically an IOU, for the $40,000 profit, paying him 10% interest.
So he created an income stream.
It's exactly $4,000 a year in passive income, mostly sheltered from taxes, from maybe 5 hours of work, finding and structuring the deal. It shows that money really starts as an idea. Financial intelligence lets you create it.
Okay, so the potential is there, but what stops people? He identifies 5 big obstacles. First one, fear. Fear of losing money.
It's universal. Even rich people feel it. But the difference, he argues, is that winners aren't paralyzed by the fear of losing. They understand that losing is often part of winning.
Like learning from mistakes.
Exactly. He uses remember the Alamo analogy, failures can become powerful motivators if you learn from them.
Yeah.
Build resilience. Don't let fear stop you from acting.
Makes sense. What's obstacle number 2?
Cynicism. You know, the Chicken Little's always predicting doom. That'll never work. It's too risky. The market's going to crash.
The noise.
Yeah, that noise, whether it's external or internal doubt, freezes people. But Kiyosaki says savvy investors see opportunity when cynics are panicking. Doubt costs you opportunities. He says cynics criticize, winners analyze.
Like the I don't want to fix toilets excuse for avoiding real estate.
Perfect example. It closes your mind. Instead of asking, okay, how can I invest in real estate without fixing toilets? Hire a manager. Analyze. Don't just criticize.
Okay, third obstacle, laziness. Which sounds weird for people working hard.
Right. But he means a specific kind of laziness. Being too busy avoiding the important stuff. Avoiding learning about money. Avoiding making financial decisions. Managing assets.
Like defaulting to, I can't afford it.
Exactly. That's mental laziness. How can I afford it? Requires effort, creativity. Laziness is staying busy, but financially inactive.
Got it. Then number 4, bad habits. This reminds me of that other classic, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes. He directly references the core habit from that book. Pay yourself first.
Crucial.
Absolutely. Most people pay bills, then see what's left, if anything. Paying yourself first, setting aside money for investments before paying bills, builds discipline.
But isn't that risky? What if the bills don't get paid?
That's the point. It creates pressure, healthy pressure. If creditors are calling, it forces you to find ways to generate more income, not just dip into your savings. It makes you financially stronger, more resourceful.
Interesting take. Okay, and the 5th obstacle, arrogance.
Yeah, using arrogance to hide ignorance. People who pretend to know it all often shut themselves off from learning.
Because they can't admit they don't know?
Precisely. Kiyosaki says truly smart people welcome new ideas. They listen more than they talk. They seek out experts. They read. They aren't afraid to say, I don't know, teach me. Arrogance is expensive financially.
Okay, so we know the obstacles. If someone's listening and thinking, right, I want to overcome these, what are the first steps Kiyosaki suggests? He has 10, right?
He does. Practical starting points. Number 1, find a reason greater than reality, a big why. You need strong emotional drivers wanting freedom, helping family, a specific goal to push through the hard times.
Makes sense. Gotta have motivation.
2, make choices daily. Specifically, choose to invest in your financial education first. Your mind is your greatest asset. Read books, attend seminars, listen to podcasts like this one, learn constantly.
3, choose friends carefully. Avoid the chicken littles, the cynics. Hang out with people who are succeeding financially. Learn from them. He calls it legal insider trading, getting good info from your network.
4. Master a formula, then learn a new one. Don't get stuck. If what you're doing isn't working, learn a new way to make money, invest, structure deals. Adaptability is key. Learn fast.
5. Pay yourself first. We covered that. Build that discipline. Let the pressure work for you.
6. Pay your brokers and advisors well. Good professionals, accountants, lawyers, brokers are worth it. They save you time and money, provide crucial info. But choose wisely, find advisors who are active investors themselves.
7 is interesting. Be an Indian giver. What's that mean in this context?
It's about getting your initial investment capital back out of a deal as quickly as possible. The goal is to own the asset for free in terms of your original cash. Like in that house example, once the note payments covered his initial outlay, the income stream and potential appreciation are pure profit on a free asset. Look for ROI and the return of your capital.
Okay, get your seed money back to redeploy. 8. Use assets to buy luxuries.
Yes, don't go into debt for luxuries. Build assets that generate enough cash flow to pay for the luxuries. The luxury is a reward for successful investing, not the cause of debt.
Smart. 9. Choose heroes.
Find people who have achieved what you want to achieve and study them. Emulate them. Heroes make it look possible and inspire you to tap into your own potential.
And finally, 10. Teach and you shall receive.
Be generous. Share your knowledge. Help others. Give back financially too if you can. Kiyosaki believes strongly in tithing and the principle that giving opens the door to receiving more, whether it's money, ideas, or goodwill.
Those are 10 powerful action steps. Okay, let's try to tie some of this together into a broader strategy. Kiyosaki also talks about the potential downside of overspecialization, right?
He does, and it's counterintuitive because schools push specialization. But he argues it can make you dependent, vulnerable. If your specialized skill isn't needed, you're stuck.
Hence his acronym for JOB, just over broke.
Exactly. A bit harsh, maybe, but it makes a point. He advises working to learn, not just to earn. Especially learn sales, marketing, management skills needed to build a business.
The McDonald's example again.
Right. It wasn't about the best hamburger, it's about the best business system. You need to understand systems, cash flow management, and people management. Sales and marketing are critical because without sales, you have no business.
This all leads nicely into his cash flow quadrant model, ESBI. Can you break that down quickly?
Sure. It's a way to categorize how people generate income. E is employee. You have a job, work for someone else.
Most people start there.
Right. S is self-employed or small business owner. You own your job. Doctors, lawyers in private practice, consultants, shop owners. You stop working, the income stops.
Okay.
B is business owner. You own a system and people work for you. The business runs without you needing to be there constantly. Think the McDonald's franchise owner, not just the burger flipper. Or building the pipeline in the parable.
Got it. And I.
I is investor. Your money works for you. You invest in other people's businesses, B quadrant, real estate, stocks, bonds. Your income isn't tied to your time.
And financial freedom, in his view, is about moving quadrants.
Exactly. Moving from the left side, E and S, to the right side, B and I. Converting your earned income from a job or self-employment into passive income from businesses you own or portfolio income from investments.
And you don't necessarily need a lot of money to start that shift.
No. He explicitly challenges it takes money to make money. He says that's the thinking of the financially unsophisticated. It takes financial intelligence first. Ideas, courage, knowledge.
Like Warren Buffett says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing.
Precisely. Financial education reduces risk because you understand what you're doing. You learn how to analyze deals, manage finances, utilize legal structures.
So the big takeaway, really, wrapping it all up, is shift your mindset, get educated, focus on assets and cash flow, and understand it's not about working harder in your job necessarily, but working smarter with your money.
That's the essence of it. Develop your financial intelligence and make money work for you.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book that undeniably makes you think differently. We really hope this conversation has given you, our listener, a new perspective, maybe some tools to look at your own financial future.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with, something Kiyosaki really emphasizes. In this information age where knowledge is power and change is the only constant, your greatest asset isn't your house or your paycheck, it's your mind. The question is, are you investing in it as diligently as you think about investing your money?
A powerful question indeed, something to definitely mull over. We encourage you to continue your own exploration of financial education. Embrace the learning, and more importantly, take action. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time.